Hello, this will be a presentation on selecting electronic health records vendor. The following 7 steps will help your organization come to a consensus on an EHR vendor. First, involve all stakeholders in the decision process, as no single viewpoint is sufficient. Some individuals to include are the Chief Information Officer, the Chief Medical Information Officer, the Nursing Administrator, as well as any other individuals with direct budget authority. Secondly, conduct one-on-one interviews with these individuals before meeting as a group, as all members should be interviewed to determine their personal scoring systems of each of the vendors. Next, conduct a group meeting to share all perspectives of the EHR systems that are being contemplated. A straw model, which is essentially a rough draft that requires improvements, will be discussed at this meeting, and members may then, at this point, suggest new ideas and modifications. The meeting will continue until there is a consensus on a decision structure. The fourth step is to construct a scoring procedure of each vendor by determining weights and rating the relative importance of selected vendor criteria. Next, a group discussion should be conducted to clarify areas where there are differences in ratings and scorings. After this step, once the group has verified a scoring system, you can rate the vendors and determine the best fit for your organization. Finally, the decision process and the scorings of each vendor should be documented. During the one-on-one interviews, the decision makers will be asked to list the attributes that they desire in each vendor. To determine the weight of each attribute, the decision maker will then arrange them in order from least to most important. The least important is then assigned a value of 10, and the decision maker is asked how many times more important one attribute is compared to the next. For example, decision maker 2 ranked reputation as least important, so it received a value of 10. Interoperability was twice as important as reputation, ease of use was 3 times more important than interoperability, and cost per position was 1.5 times more important than ease of use. The values are then divided by the total of 180 so that the sum of each is equal to 1. In the consensus model, the weights of the attributes determined by decision maker 1 and decision maker 2 are averaged. Therefore, the weight of the cost per physician is 0.45, ease of use is 0.3, interoperability is 0.195, and reputation is 0.055. The attribute level of each potential vendor is then displayed, and the decision makers discuss each level and assign a value between 0 for the worst and 100 for the best, or any level in between. The rating is then multiplied by the weight, and the vendor with the highest total value is the best fit for the organization. This graph reveals that the scores of all 3 of the vendors. Vendor C is the best choice for the organization with a score of 85.75, followed closely by Vendor A with a score of 83. Vendor B is the worst choice for the organization, as it scored lowest with 61.5 points. Participatory vendor selection allows several individuals within the organization to contribute their opinion about an EHR vendor. Quantifying preferences allows the decision to be based upon a number of smaller decisions that meet specific criteria, and the best option becomes very clear when it is quantified. The one-on-one interviews help to create a basic model from which to grow during the group meeting.